Welcome everybody to Wigspitter MMA DFS podcast. I'm your host Jeff, aka Wigspitter, coming at you with another UFC Fight Night card from Moscow, Russia. This one is headlined by Mark Hunt and Oliynyk. This is going to be a Russian stacked card. A lot of M1 fighters that are making their debuts. A lot of one-sided, lopsided fights. And we are going to be doing something different here for this podcast. I'm going to be giving you 3 picks to start your lineups out with, so you can build a solid cash or GPP lineup, whichever way you want to go. Before we get into that, if you're not already a Wigspitter.com subscriber, you can pick up an MMA event pass by heading over to Wigspitter.com and then clicking on subscribe. The MMA event passes are only $4.99, but the biggest bang for the buck, the greatest deal, is the All Sports monthly package. It's $29.99. You will gain access to not only the remainder of Major League Baseball season, NFL season just started. There's a few more PGA events throughout the end of the year. NASCAR is in playoffs right now. And also, of course, MMA. NHL is going to be starting at the beginning of October. So that's the biggest bang for the buck. And you will have, also you'll gain access to the Slack chat, the premium Slack chat, which has all of our members discussing strategy as well as all of our contributors. All the resident experts are in there, always chopping it up throughout odd hours of the night. I'm in there 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, West Coast time. Usually, bouncing around to all the different groups. It's pretty fun, just to interact with everybody and, try to learn from, there's a lot of sharp guys that we have, and they have a lot of knowledge that maybe they've picked up from other places or just strategy that they've came across that works. And I'm telling you, they share it, and it's a great community. So come on in and join us. Now let's jump right into the construction build, the lineup build. The first fighter on the card that I am personally going to roster is Peter Yan. This guy, if you look at his first fight, it was against Teruto Ishihara. It was a first round knockout. He knocked him down 2 times and 25 significant strikes. It was just he blew through him, scored 126 points. 125.5 points, whatever. That is definitely 12x value is what you want out of a over 9K fighter. Anything over 8.5K, you want at least 12x value. And I think Peter Yan has a great opportunity to do that again against Jin Soo Sun, who is taking this fight on short notice. He's a regional fighter, fights out of ABC, I believe. So this is going to be an interesting fight for how long it lasts. Peter Yan is a well-rounded fighter, solid striking, very flashy, all-around solid fighter. And at 9,600, I definitely think he's going to pay off his salary, barring Jin Soo Sun catching him with maybe a flash KO, which I don't think will happen. Now the next fighter I'm targeting for my build for you guys is Jan Blachowicz. This guy is on a 3-fight win streak. He's going up against Nikita Krylov, who has lost 2 times by submission, and Jan Blachowicz has sneaky submissions. At 8,000, he's averaging right around 90 points in his last 3 fights. And he has a favorable matchup against Krylov. It's fairly even according to Vegas. Krylov came out as the favorite initially, but I do like Blachowicz in this fight, and I will have a lot of exposure with him in cash and GPP because at that price he's a steal. And the last fighter I'm going to pick is, where is he at? There he is. 7,500. Adam Yandiev. Now, if you don't know who this dude is, make sure you head on over to YouTube or SureDog and watch his walkout videos. This guy makes a production straight out of like it was reminiscent of the old Pride days when guys would just come out with some of the most extravagant, crazy, off the wall type of walkout scenarios. There was one he came out. It looked like a giant three like a three-wheel motorcycle that was just had this huge motor on it, with like 40 or 50 people trailing behind him as like his entourage. I mean, it's over the top. But needless to say, when he gets in the cage, he literally gets in there and wants to rip people's heads off. He has very aggressive single and double leg takedowns. I like this guy for GPP upside at 7,500. It gives you a lot of flexibility when you're building your lineup. He has stoppage upside. Going up against a guy like Johnson, who's currently 9-0. He's currently undefeated. But to me, actually, I believe this is his first fight at 185. He's coming down from 205. So it'll be interesting to see if he makes the weight, for one, and then what he looks like when he's making the weight. Because in the middle of his weight cut, he's going to have to be traveling to the fight during fight week, unless he leaves their fight early. Now, if you notice, Jordan Johnson, majority takes the fight to a decision. If he thinks he's going to be able to grind out a decision against, I mean, he will have an opportunity to grind out a decision against Yandiev if Yandiev isn't able to take him out in the first round. It'll be interesting to see if what kind of fighter he is. Plus, Yandiev, he's sort of an unknown because he hasn't fought in a few years. I believe it's 3 years. He's coming back off of a layoff. But I'm willing to take that chance. He's a brute of a person. He's a freak of nature when it comes to his physique. And his aggressiveness in the cage is what appeals to me, especially in GPPs. Huge upside. At 7,500, even if he does grind out a decision victory, it is in Russia. I doubt majority of the Americans that are going to be fighting on this cage, if they get to decision. I'm not saying that there's going to be home cooking, but I have a feeling that there might be a little, maybe a slight bias when it comes to the non-European fighters. But that's what we have for you to start your lineup at. We have Adam Yandiev, Jan Blachowicz, and Peter Yan. And of course, if you wanted to pay down from Peter Yan to may have a little bit more of a balanced lineup, you can do that for sure. But I love Peter Yan's upside. He has huge potential. Definitely 12x value easily. Jan Blachowicz has been showing that he's been hitting 12x as well. And the unknown of Adam Yandiev and his aggressiveness in the cage could potentially score 12, 13x. That's your start of your lineup. It leaves you 8,300 to build the rest of your lineup out. And of course, if you want to have insight for the rest of your lineup build, it's only $4.99 if you head on over to wisestake.com and pick up an MMA event pass. But like I mentioned earlier, the most bang for the buck is the all sports package. It's only $29.99. Plus, you'll gain access to the Slack chat, which has all of our members in there chopping it up in all hours of the day. Plus, all of the resident experts are in there as well, mingling inside the community and just educating as much as we can to help out everybody make more money. As always, I am Wigspitter. Make sure you're safe out there. Make that money. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the Slack chat. Have fun. Oh, don't forget, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, turn on notifications, give us those 5-star reviews. We appreciate it, and I appreciate you guys taking the time out to listen to me talk about MMA and DFS, and I hope to help you make money. Yes.